as for Otamendi, stick or twist, that Man City side's going to be really hard to predict. I imagine he's going to want to break records, Pep Guardiola, and that's all he has left. So I imagine strong teams will still be played. I just don't think you are going to be guaranteed that your players are going to start. The safest ones I would assume would potentially be Edison, and there's rumours that Edison wants to take a penalty now that they've won the league. So clean sheet and a penalty goal could be really good. Not saying that's definite, but just you heard it here as well as wherever else you may have heard it. But Edison apparently wants to take a penalty this season, which if he gets it and a clean sheet would be massive for a game week. Imagine he got 2 penalties in a double game week or something. And then I'd say potentially Jesus is nailed on. Purely because I don't know the striker options they've got after Jesus and Aguero. And Jesus has been out for a bit. Aguero's out for the rest of the season apparently. So those are the 2 Man City players I would probably consider. The rest I am worried about rotation. Isa T, good to see you in the chat. Good evening, JNO. I'm using my second wildcard for Gameweek36 so I can bench boost on 37. That could be a big Gameweek37 for you. Can you help me with how to set my team for the rest of the season? Okay, so the first thing I'd like to bring up, and I've not named them so I could get this wrong. That is the wrong one. Those are the double Gameweek37 fixtures on the screen right now. Of course, you've got the big teams and you've got some small teams that have things to play for. So when we look at these teams, Arsenal still potentially have position in the table to play for. In my fixtures and form video, I think I go into Arsenal's chances of a table finish a bit more deeply. Can't remember it off the top of my head, but Burnley and Leicester for Arsenal, potentially they're going to want to be trying to win those games. I think they could still sneak a Champions League place. I don't think it's likely, but they've also got Burnley chasing them as well. So you could get some good performance from the Arsenal side. Defensively, there's been rotation, but Monreal definitely looks like a good option. Wish I'd have picked Monreal instead of Bellerin. Up front, Aubameyang, I'm imagining by game week 37, he may play the Burnley game. Then there's the risk Aubameyang may get swapped for Lacazette in the other fixture. I think also Aubameyang is more nailed on for game week 36. So if I was to pick one, I would probably go Aubameyang out over Lacazette. You've got other options, but rotation is a risk. You've got Chelsea still has something to play for. Again, they could still sneak a Champions League place. They do have the FA Cup to think about in the future though. So who knows about rest in game week 38. But Liverpool and Huddersfield. Liverpool game, that's going to be a big one. With the way Liverpool are playing, they may put in a weaker side, potentially. Depending on if they secured their Champions League place. But Huddersfield, you'd imagine Chelsea to beat Huddersfield, but again, rotation is always a worry at this point in the season. You've got Man City. Again, I've already spoken about Man City. I think they'll still put out strong sides, but I think rotation will start to happen more frequently. Man United, they're going to want to keep second. So I think they'll still play. But again, FA Cup round the corner. I think you've got to try and find the nailed-on options there. Then teams like Swansea, for instance, still have a chance of staying up. Bournemouth and Southampton, those are big games where big performances could come from those players. Southampton, Everton, Swansea. So you could potentially look at some differential picks from sides that really have something to fight for. West Ham, depending on what they do in game week 36, could have secured their safety. But those are the kind of the teams that I would look at from there. As far as fixture ease, we have Man City with West Ham, Huddersfield, Brighton, Hove Albion, Southampton. So again, look at the nailed-on options. Spurs, now with nothing else to play for. Again, they're probably going to want Kane to win Golden Boot. So I would look at Kane. Then Eriksen seems to me the most nailed on out of the midfielders. And then defender-wise, if you just want to be sure they're going to play, Vertonghen looks like the best bet. Man United, of course, Arsenal, Brighton, Hove Albion, West Ham, Watford. After the Arsenal game, they look like they've got easy fixtures. You're looking at the likes of Lukaku, Sanchez seems to be pretty nailed on. You take a risk. I say that. I think Sanchez didn't start in the second game of Double Gameweek 34. So maybe take that back. Lukaku seems pretty nailed on, though, as a starter. Then you've got Swansea, Chelsea, but then it's Bournemouth, Southampton, Stoke. So the fixtures are okay after the Chelsea fixture. So you could potentially get a differential like Jordan Ayew in there or a defender from Swansea. And then Chelsea, Swansea, Liverpool, Huddersfield, Newcastle. So you'd be looking at players that are likely to start. Willian seems in form. I suggested Victor Moses on my fixtures and form video, but of course you can go Marcus Alonso and Cesar Azpilicueta as well. So hopefully that's given you some help as far as that goes. ICT, it does of course depend on your ranking and what you're trying to achieve, but hopefully that has helped you out a bit.